السلام عليكم. صبحكم الله بالخير يا اخوان. صباح الخير للزميلات. ان شاء الله في حضور للزميلات يعني جيد. And also good morning for everybody. Welcome at King Saud University. We are so proud to have you here. أنا حتكلم بالعربي لأنه أنا أشوف الحضور عربي يعني. إيش رأيكم؟ ولا عشان الضيوف؟
الضيوف خليهم
الزميلات معنا في أيضا ضيفات غير يعني من الخارج ولا؟
نعم دكتور، في ضيوف أجانب.
طيب أوكي. So I'm so happy to have this workshop organized today by Dr. Khalid Saleh and his colleagues. And King Saud University, as you know, it is in a new stage. We have started 4 years ago a new era of King Saud University to be a global university in research and education. And we believe from day one that intellectual property and royalty is essential for this stage of time. Without having a strong IP program, I don't think we can move in what we call knowledge-based economy. Knowledge-based economy is a target now not only for King Saud University but also for the nation. Saudi Arabia cannot be always depending on oil. Oil is gonna vanish one day. So knowledge-based economy is the alternative to our future and future of our kids. And from this concept, we move forward in the university. We have initiated new programs related to innovation and creativity. Encourage students, encourage faculty members, researchers, not to do research for the sake of research, but for having some added value to our national economy. And this is why the university has a big vision. And if you go over this vision, it has 6 words: to be distinguished or to be global through societal partnership to build a knowledge society. So knowledge society, partnership, globality. I mean, how to mix or how to make chemistry for these words. We are talking about knowledge-based economy. So now the government of Saudi Arabia is working very hard to shift from oil-based economy to knowledge-based economy. And I think the role of the university is the cornerstone. Without big contribution from the universities in Saudi Arabia to help or to contribute significantly with the government efforts, I don't think this can be achieved. And if we go over, we can learn from, we go over some countries' experience in this direction, like South Korea or Sweden, some China, Japan, Singapore. We can learn from big lessons they have gone through. I don't think we can talk about knowledge-based economy without intellectual property commitment. As a researcher, I know yesterday, for example, we signed a contract with the Crystal company. I don't know if you heard about this. It's a big, one of the largest petrochemicals company in Saudi Arabia. It's so we signed with them a contract, a patent. U.S. Patent Office registered 1 patent for Dr. Tariq Al-Musallam and Dr. Wahid Al-Masri from College of Engineering and Dr. Muhammad Iqbal. Yesterday, they signed a company for coming out of this patent. So this is what we are talking about. The research outcomes from the university, we should work very hard to convert these outcomes to have some economical value, not only for the university, but for the nation. And this is how we create jobs for our coming generations. If we want to talk about knowledge-based economy, the target is how to make jobs available. And brain should be our oil barrel, as you know. I mean, not only oil barrel from underground, we just have it coming out, but we should have our brains as our oil barrel for the future. I'm so happy this program Dr. Khalid is chairing. Now they have more than one patent either filed or coming out over almost 2 years. And I think this is big achievement, and we are looking for more and more. This gives us an indication that King Saud University has strong research outcome. But what we need is to focus and direct these outcomes to make added value to our economy from. Dr. Abdullah Al-Uthman, the rector of this university, announced 2 days ago that the number of publications in ISI, and you know ISI database, Dr. Abdul Khdiri is in charge of this, produced so far 1,008 papers until yesterday. And last year, I just can give you the number, we had about 500 papers only. 2007, about 300 papers only. Today, we have, before the end of 2010, we still have 3 weeks. And this year, we have more than 1,000 papers. And this just give you some indication how the initiatives and the new program in the university, I mean, everyone is encouraged, and we produce now more. And publications or publishing in ISI is one indication of how research progress going in the university. We always say in the university that if you have strong publications, you should have also strong generations for patents, because it has some link. If you have very strong research, you can produce more patents. And if you have more patents, you can have also a spin-off company or startups. And really, we are so proud that this year we have launched 2 spin-off companies in our science park. So we have the research tools, we have the arena, is the science park, to bring up spin-off and startup companies. And the startup companies will help our national economy, because they will offer jobs, they will offer new technologies, commercialization will be one asset for the science park. So, I mean, it's like a chain that if we work hard with the intellectual property program, we can really produce more patents, we can have more and more startup companies. And this is our goal in the university. So this year, I'm expecting in 2011, this coming year, we will have at least 13 to 15 startup companies come out of the university. I'm sure that the university faculty members and researchers, they have the ability and capability to produce more and more. And I know that now we have 50% of our patents or filed patents are in the US Patent Office. and I don't know how many in European offices, but as you know, U.S. Patent Office is one of the difficult offices to get or to register patents in. It takes long time, competition, so I hope we, and I told Dr. Khalid that I want to see the university to have at least in the coming 5 years, at least 200 patents a year. And I think this target can be achieved with hard work. I would like to thank you all for coming today, take some of your time to educate ourselves about patent, how to make research patentable. And I'm sure Dr. Hani and some other also colleagues, Dr. Abdul Mahsen, and some my colleagues here, they have already registered patents. I don't see Dr. Al-Saghir, Yusuf, he's not here. Dr. Saud al-Zahrani. Okay, because you know, we are honored from by King Abdullah give some of our researchers King Abdul Aziz medal. It's a national medal for producing more patents than other researchers, and registered in the U.S. Patent Office. And also we are proud we are #1 in Arab world in producing a U.S. Patent Office, U.S. patents, especially in petrochemicals and oil industry. So we will not be, you know, just, we are not repeating. I mean, we are proud, and just we're gonna sleep. We will work very hard to produce more, and I hope we'll celebrate every year, hundreds of patents, and I'm sure we are in the right direction, but we need more and more. I think the intellectual property program is essential, and I told Khalid 2 days ago that now under the national program for research from CAXT, we will have a big fund for this program, because the university is paying all expenses from its pocket. Yes, we have endowment program, we have chair program, but we want to use our money, utilize our income in the university research, not only covering expenses for patents. But now, inshallah, we will have fund for funding patents, and really I hope our researchers and faculty members, they will file more and more, especially in Europe and U.S. Patent Office. I think what we need is to work very hard on educating our researchers and the students about how to make research outcomes or innovative ideas patentable. I think we still lack of awareness of the importance and significance of make such outcomes patentable. I mean, this kind of culture should be disseminated and should be spread over. And I know this is a big job, but I think you can make it, Dr. Khalid, with your colleagues. Again, I would like to welcome all of you and our attorneys from Germany, and yes, and from GCC also. So I hope, I mean, you will add value. I'm sure you will add value to the innovation culture at King Saud University, and also I hope if you have time, you will visit, you will take our colleagues, especially from GCC, from Germany, and you can take them in tour in some landmarks of the university. I want you to see how research is moving forward, and also fast at Saud University. Dr. Hani also has a good model for water desalination in our science park, and this model has been welcomed from the government, and inshallah it will be patentable. It's already patentable. You have already patent, and it will inshallah contribute in our water-related problem at King Saud in Saudi Arabia. And at the same time, Dr. Hani and his colleagues in College of Engineering and College of Science, they have convinced King Abdullah City for renewable energy to establish, inshallah, the first and the biggest national center in water desalination. And it comes from, individual efforts. So initiatives should start from individuals. Thank you again for your time and for giving me this a chance to just, present some of the ambitions we have at King Saud University. And I think the biggest challenge for Khalid and his team is to have at least 200 patents a year. And inshallah you can make it. And Dr. Abdul Mahsen, in water we should have not only medals from Geneva or from London, but we should have patents. And inshallah, I'm sure Dr. Salman Arkayan is here also. Nano. You always, King Abdullah Institute for Nano. They should all. I see Dr. Al-Warthan also here, huh? Dr. Abdurrahman. So he has some patents, and I'm sure that King Abdullah Institute for Nanotechnology is very important. I mean, and make a big contribution in patents.
Yes, they are a good client for our IPTL.
Very good,
Yeah.
very good. I think we have now good programs. The energy program, the nano program, the centers of excellence, research chairs with Dr. Mohammed Al-Wad'an. I think the biggest challenge, and always we ask outcomes, we ask for patents. We have basic research in the university, but applied research, we should have patents. And this will add value. And if you go, for example, I think South Korea have more than 10,000 patents a year. And they are publishing about 56,000 papers in ISI. And there is a relationship between good publication, qualitative publication, and patents. And now we have Science Park, so we have no excuse not to be, not to producing 200 a year, Dr. Khalid. And inshallah you can make it. Of course. So thank you again, and I hope you will have a successful time with this workshop, and inshallah we will see, inshallah, big numbers, not only from King Saud University, I mean number of patents, but also from all Saudi universities. And I asked Dr. Khalid, inshallah, to organize workshop for all Saudi universities, and we invite our colleagues to present their expertise in this direction for our colleagues also at other universities. Thank you so much, and have a good time.
Thank you, Dr. Ali Al-Ghamdi, and really we are proud to have these kind words from our Vice Rector. So, for the time being, are you leaving us or staying with us? Yeah. I know that you are the most wanted person in this university. So, okay. Okay. Again, we thank Dr. Ali Al-Ghamdi, our Vice Rector, and we want to. I don't want to talk more about the IPTL, because we are going to have a special presentation will be presented by our he's leaving now. I will wait for him. Okay. Now we are going to have our first presentation. It will be presented by our supervisor, Dr. Khalid Saleh. He is the supervisor for the IPTL for more than 2 years. He's an associate professor in the industrial engineering. He's a very distinguished guy in the research field. We want also, I don't want to say anything about the IPTL because he is going to talk about it now. So please take the floor. Thank you. Please,
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'd like to make myself a little bit fast because we are going behind the schedule a little bit. So we'll talk about the intellectual property and technology licensing program. In the past, 4 years ago, this university, KSU, decided to become a top-tier educational institution. So the emphasis on the research, science, innovation, inventions, patents, they evolved into knowledge exchange and the technology transfer. So many actions were taken from this university to improve the faculty, the students, the curriculum, the infrastructure. Everything actually was touched by this, ambitious plans. Historically, the research at KSU has always followed the publication-only path. So most of the faculty, they will seek, distinguished journals. They might go to attend conferences, and that's it, nothing more. This path alone didn't, guarantee that the public will benefit from the innovative ideas. It was only, maybe glory or some achievement for the faculty member himself, maybe to the university, but it was not spread, no benefit for the community or the country in general. So very few or little of this published work resulted in tangible, results, or like Dr. Ali was saying just a few moments ago, in patents or something with a value. So we had something missing. This link, the missing link, was the technology transfer. We wanted to transfer the technology to the public for the benefit of the society. So the flow chart you have right now is the technology transfer process. It will start from this research and discovery. It will go through so many stages, starting from the invention disclosure, then the technology evaluation. Those steps are now done by our office, the intellectual property program. We do the technology evaluation. If this something has a potential, we will seek protection, and then we will urge or encourage the faculty members or the applicant to publish to increase the interest. And also, if the prototypes are needed, we will also do this. There are marketing steps, licensing. We can go also to commercialization, or we could get financial return without going to the commercialization stage. And then all of these will result in investment. Investment will go to the applicants themselves. They might be students, they might be faculty members, and some of the royalties will be shared by the employer. For instance, the college, the academic department, and the university endowments, they will take some percentages. So what are the benefits of the technology transfer? There are benefits for the government, benefits for the universities, and also benefits for the industry. So they will range from development of industrial capabilities. There will be an economic base, jobs will be created, the wealth will increase, and also the universities will get royalties. Those royalties will be spent for the research funding. And also if we seek grants from the university, the tech transfer actions or the tasks, they will be approved for the government that we are capable, and we can secure some grants from the university. And also it will help in improving the reputation of the university. If we want to attract distinguished faculty members or researchers, if they know that we are good in this business, in the tech transfer business, then they will be willing to come. And also the industry could benefit from this because they will have access to excellent facilities, and they will its ability to exploit research. This is actually what's happening now in the RTV, all the initiatives in the university. We are talking in this field right now. So among the initiatives initiated during the last 4 years, we have something called the innovation system. And this is comprising mainly from four components. the IPTL, which links to the Intellectual Property and Technology Licensing Program, RTech, this refers to the Riyadh Technology Incubation Center, RTV, the Riyadh Techno Valley, and IC is the Innovation Center. Those 4 components, we wanted to make them, operate like a system, and they will help in producing the output that we need. So our road to innovation, this university's road to innovation, as Dr. Al-Ghamdi mentioned, it should be based on the research excellence and knowledge base. We have no problem with this. This is a very big university, many academic departments, many researchers. So we expect an output coming from this. This output could be secured by the intellectual property program or with the help of the Innovation Center. Then the output of those programs could go also to the RTech or the RTV if we want to have some of the IP incubated or something. They could provide help. And we need also effective governance policies and procedures because, most of the government policies and procedures, some of them are quite old. They lack, those new, of course, those new things, when you talk about IP, patents, technology transfer, most of them are new. So the government policy should be adapted or changed or at least modified to cater for those new things. And also the effective leadership. We don't have any problem with this point, effective leadership, starting from the king himself, King Abdullah, until we reach the rector of the university or his deputy rectors. And also on top of this, we need innovation culture. If there is no good innovation culture, we can't, expect to have good ideas, bright ideas. The culture itself is very important. So with regard to innovation system, we have customers for each component. I will talk about intellectual property program, leave the rest for you. Our customers are inventors, researchers, faculty members, the government also, the public and industry. We are open to everybody. Anybody could apply to us, even if they don't belong to King Saud University. Our services are applicable for them. We could do this free of charge. And the customers also for the other programs are in front of you. We expect deliverables from those components. So for instance, to gauge our success as a program, IP program, the deliverables, the major deliverables are the invention disclosures, patents, copyrights, trademarks, licenses, and IP education, sponsored research, and startups, because we are, responsible for all the parts of the intellectual property. We are not only talking about patents. So if anything related to trademarks, copyrights, whatever, or any sort of intellectual property, we will get, or we will help the university to achieve it. There is some certain workflow within this innovation system. This is our imagination, how the flow is, happening. For instance, an output from our program, IPTL, will be license, patents, royalties, and maybe startups and patents. The input is in patents and disclosures. So this is our, general, perception of the relationship between those programs. Okay, if we talk about the program itself, the intellectual property, there is the academic discovery. If there is technology transfer, then we can do licensing for the benefit of the industry, government, and there might be also startups. So talking about our mission, the program mission, we would like to facilitate the patent registration. In the past, it was almost impossible for our faculty members to gain a patent because it is costly, it is technically complicated, there is no support whatsoever. So that was the reason for very few number of patents achieved in the past. But nowadays, we are offering this service to our faculty members and all KSU constituents. One of our mission is to protect intellectual property, and we would like to contribute to the funding of research because our major plan is that we want to be self-sufficient in the future. So as Dr. Ali mentioned, they will give us some loans or maybe grants. This is just in the beginning, a temporary stage, but in the future we would like to be self-sustainable. We don't want to be a burden on the university shoulder. Instead, we want to be a helping hand. We would like to generate revenue for it. And serving the society, promoting the culture of innovation is one of our goals. And this workshop flows into this path. So a very big question might be in the minds of so many of you here. If you know that there is a program, it could do help for you. What is the starting point? The starting point is the invention disclosure. Anyone who has an idea should fill out an invention disclosure form. This is available in our website. available online. And there are so many methods for filling out the invention disclosure. And then what happens after the invention disclosure? We will do the evaluation. This evaluation, most of the time, is done in-house. We could do also something outsourcing. We could seek scientific, let's say, opinion. While securing the intellectual property, we care about non-disclosure agreements, so we are very responsible for this. It's our duty. The assessment process itself depends on the details. So a very common question is, how long will it take for you to assess my disclosure or evaluate it? Well, the answer is simply, it depends. It depends on the quantity and the quality of the information disclosed. This will help us to build up a very clear idea about it. And afterwards, we will do the filing. If the patentability potential is high, we will do filing. In all these stages, the cooperation of the applicant himself or herself is highly appreciated. It is very, very necessary, because there will be constant communications between us and the applicants. We could ask for more information, we could ask for technical meetings, and by so many means of communication. So what will happen next, as I mentioned, after filing, because it's not our objective to have a patent only. If we just achieve a patent without utilizing this patent, my point of view, this is a negative point. We should utilize this patent. So there should be licensing, there should be something in reward for it. This is the task for our program, and also the other programs like the RTV and the Techno Incubator, as we mentioned before. So if any details are needed, we have produced something called the Inventor's Guide. It is in your folders. We have it in Arabic and English. And also, the most important is the bylaws. Bylaws were approved by University Council last year. So they will govern our procedures. We are bound by these bylaws. And they are basically relying on the Saudi patent law. So we didn't bring anything new. They are based on the Saudi patent law. And we are always there. You could contact us by phone, by fax, or you could visit us in person. We have an office here in Diriyah. We have another office in Malaz for the girls section. So you are mostly welcome for contact. I will leave the questions later, because we are here, and since we are late in the schedule, I might invite our next speaker to come, because we would like to save the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Khaled, and you have saved us about 10 minutes. Now our next speaker is Dr. Volker Scholz. He's a patent attorney, and he got also about 10 years of experience in this field. And is it true? Yeah, okay. So please take your floor. Okay, he's there.
Good morning also from my side to everybody. We three are quite happy to be here today. I think it's the best just to start with my presentation, because it's very close to the presentation already given before, and I would like to focus on the principles of successful patent drafting. And my opinion is the best way, or the most successful way to result in a good patent application is a very good cooperation between the inventors and the patent attorney who has to draft the application. And there are three topics I would like to concentrate today. And the first one, most important one, is the invention disclosure form you have to file in and to submit at the respective department. And then you will see how the information from this invention disclosure form will result in some topics, some information in the drafting of the claims and in the drafting of the description. And well, how does everything start? Well, you work hard in the labs and prepare an invention. So you receive first results, you receive further results, and finally you have an impression what might be the best solution and what is the scope of the invention you can claim. And of course this best solution is dependent, for example, on the customer or market demands. If you have a knowledge in which field your invention can be used. Of course, costs are important for the best solution, if there are any competitors, and of course also an important question is whether your invention prepared in a lab is practicable for use in an industrial range. And if you provide the invention disclosure form and to best assist the patent lawyer who then draft the patent application, it is very helpful to answer some questions. And the first general question, which is very important for the patent attorney, is in which technological area, in which field is your invention? And this might be, for example, a polymerization process, which is of course a very general information, or a catalyst development, a new use of a product or whatever. And as an inventor, you have the best knowledge of your invention, and of course, so you might think, what is the real core of the invention? Is it a new product you have developed? Is it a new process, or is it a new use of a compound? And this information is quite important because there are only 3 claim categories you can claim in a patent application, which are product claims, process claims, or use claims. And so this information already helps the patent attorney to better understand your invention. And next question is, this question is also related to the general technical area. What is the prior art? What is the starting point of your invention? What is known? What is the general basis, the general knowledge? And is there, for example, one document which is very close to your invention, which may be used as a starting point to finally reach your invention? And if you are aware of such a closest prior art document, this is usually a document which has, of course, then the most features in common with your invention. And another question, of course, if you are aware of any prior art, are there any disadvantages of the prior art? So any disadvantages, of course, also of the closest prior art. And this then, of course, results also in the question, what are the advantages or the improvements of your invention compared to that prior art? So it is very helpful for the patent attorney to know your opinion regarding the differences between your invention and the prior art. The question may then be, what is the difference? So, for the field of patents, a difference may be defined in a different way than in usual life. And I would like to give you 2 examples what can be a difference in patent law and what is not a difference. And this example, the first example is, for example, a prior art related to a catalyst composition with 3 components, A, B, and C. This is very general. And your invention is also a catalyst composition, having also the 3 components known from the prior art, but having additionally a 4th component, for example, an additional metal or whatever. And by use of this 4th element, you can demonstrate that the catalyst results in an improved selectivity, for example. So this is a clear difference, and this difference may be the basis then for filing and for drafting the patent application. So the answer for a difference here is yes. In another example, the prior art discloses a polymerization process, also with a catalyst, and it's essential for that process to be carried out at a temperature range from, for example, 50 to 150 degrees of Celsius. And now your new development is the identical polymerization process, but conducted at a temperature of, let's say, 100 degrees of Celsius. So you easily see your chosen temperature range is within the range of the prior art, and the answer, if there is a difference here, is no. Then back to the questions. You have to consider what is the best solution of your invention and gives the best results. You can imagine there are so many parameters you can probably choose for your invention. Some parameters may be absolutely necessary, otherwise your invention will not work. And there may be other parameters or other features which have some benefit but which are not absolutely necessary for your invention to be carried out. And this is then very helpful for the patent attorney to have a structure which features are absolutely necessary, which are only an option. Methanol or butanol will fall under the scope of protection, and this simply easily shows you that this is an important question. Other examples, maybe for example, you have developed a polycondensation process for polyethylene terephthalate, and you may ask, well, probably this process may be useful also for other esters. Or another last example is you have developed a process which is the best solution results are achieved at a temperature of 80 degrees. And you can ask, well, may I broaden this temperature range where this process can be carried out? You should provide in your invention disclosure, if possible, a number of examples to illustrate how your invention works. And examples should be preferably in a range between the best solution and the minimum solution. The minimum solution here shall be meant as having only the absolutely necessary features to carry out your invention. And then there should be also examples having additional, only optional features, so to provide the patent attorney with some information that the invention is indeed or can be carried out in the whole range you have stated before. If you have generalized some features, you should provide some examples, if possible, to cover the full range. Then if you have finished the invention disclosure and the university agrees to draft and file a patent application, you will probably very well recognize the information you have provided in your invention disclosure form. You will see every information, hopefully at least, in the claims and in the description. So it's then the task of the patent attorney to draft the patent application, and the most important thing of a patent application are the claims, especially the independent claims. The independent claims should relate to the minimum solution. That means it shall only disclose the features which are absolutely necessary. And in the subclaims, which are then dependent on such independent claims, the optional or preferred features should be stated. And somewhere in the subclaims, usually, you will find the best solution, so the solution which provides the best